Thanks for joining me for video 3 on the Odyssey series. So I just went to AutoZone and picked up some belts and some hoses and stuff, and I'm gonna try to get this thing to where maybe we can let it run for an extended amount of time, because right now it don't have any coolant in it, so I can't really let it run. So I'm gonna get some hoses on there and get it filled up with coolant and hopefully see if we can at least move it around. I've got some 5/8 heater hose, and we just got to run it from the heater valve up to the side of the head. It's already got the other one ran, so I'll try to pick out the best routing to where I can run it and fit in there nicely. Alright, so I just got the heater hose on now, so it kind of routes nicely there, and I don't think it's going to rub anything. And yeah, now I just got to run my hose for the aisle air control valve. I think they already got the one running from the bottom of the throttle body over to the aisle air control valve. This one has a adapter plate to run the 2-wire aisle air control valve instead of the 3-wire. So at least it's got that going for it. So I just got to run the hose from the top of it over here over to the thermostat housing. And all my parts store had was some 5/16. This is actually fuel lining up. I'd really rather have some different kind of hose, but like I said, it's the only thing they had, so it was either this or nothing. So this it is. Alright, so I wound up running the hose from the top of the aisle air control valve up and over, and it kind of goes, sweeps around, comes over to the thermostat housing here. And I kind of left it long so that it can go behind the intake tube. So I think that's gonna work out nicely, and you can see there's the heater hose, so if I wanted to I could zip tie them together. Let's go pull this jewel in. Check engine light on for the oxygen sensor. And obviously the battery light's on because I don't have an alternator belt on it yet, but it moves under its own power. So previously on the other video I mentioned that I was going to be converting the reverse sensor over to a Deutsch connector, but I've had a few time constraints, so the owner is actually wanting to pick the van up maybe possibly this weekend, and today is Tuesday, so I don't really have time to order all that stuff. So I went up to AutoZone and just picked up a couple of packs of these bullet connectors. So, and then I just took 2 wires and drilled them and then put some tape over them. And so these bullet connectors will plug into the H23 transmission reverse sensor. And polarity on these doesn't really matter because it's just going to be completing a circuit. So we get them plugged in, and then we can hook these 2 wires up to the 2 coming off the range selector switch, and then we'll have reverse lights. Alright, so now you can see that whenever I put the car in reverse, the reverse lights come on. Good deal. One step closer to being OEM-ish, and one step closer to being finished. So I've taken the front subframe out, and they had it notched here to clear the front, or to clear the header. I was barely touching the header. This thing has a 4.2-to-1 header, and one of the runners was just barely touching it where they had notched out this, but it, like I said, they left probably I don't know, a good 1/4 inch or so sticking out. So knock that all the way back to where it's almost flush. I started welding it. You see I got a little patch here welded, but I ran out of welding wire, so I haven't been able to finish this part, so I'm going to go to the store and get some more welding wire. And then while I was at it, I also took a drill bit and drilled out the spot welds to take off the mount that was up here, just to clean it up some. And then I took a flap disc and just cleaned it off some more. And then once I'm done welding up this little section here, I will put a coat of gloss black spray paint on it, or some satin or something, just to probably the whole unit, just to make it look nice. Alright, so it's the next day, and I went ahead and I got some more welding wire and I finished up welding the joint here, and then I just put a coat of black paint over it just to make it look better. Right, that's done. And also I got the alternator belt on, and this one is using F22 crank pulley, so this is the belt that I had to use. So Prelude belt wouldn't fit it. I got the front subframe reinstalled. Now we got a pretty good gap here. I can almost put my finger between it. Yeah, you can see I got clearance all the way through there. Yeah, I guess now we'll move on to something else. I'm gonna try to fab up another throttle bracket because the throttle cable is way too long, and it's you can see it's only got one bolt holding it right here. So I got a piece of flat bar, and I'm gonna make it where to bolt in here, and then this will bolt to it. Like I said, I just got this piece of flat bar. This is 3/4 by 1/8. I'm gonna use this and make me a different throttle bracket. I came up with, I made out of that piece of flat metal, so basically it's just got 4 holes in it, and this is the little bracket that the throttle cable goes into, and then it'll bolt onto the intake manifold here. You can see I got the throttle bracket done, and it feels really good with the pedal now. I also installed a new fuel filter, and then I got another I got a power steering belt. The Prelude one was too short, and so I got one that was just a little bit longer, and it was too long. So we'll go back and see if maybe I can find a middle ground, get it to where I actually have some power steering. Let's see what else I did up here. I fixed a couple fuel leaks, so I got all that situated, and then I got the overflow tank for the radiator on. I think that's about all I did up here. I tied up some of the connectors, you know, like over here. Just like put a zip tie on it, just tidy it up some. All right, so over here, I kind of got my ECU wiring tidied up. It looks pretty good, I think. And then I got this mount for the shift box installed. So this mounts to the floor, and then the Prelude shifter or a core shifter or whatever shifter this is mounts to this box. So that fits nicely. And then I bolted the driver's seat down since it wasn't bolted down. All right, so I put an O2 sensor in it, so we have no more check engine light. And so now we just have a SRS light. And this one over here is the brake for the emergency brake. So you see I put the emergency brake down, it goes off. So no check engine light. Runs pretty good. So next thing we're gonna be doing is wiring up this. This is a condition meter. It's pretty freaking rare. But it does a tach signal on here. It has a voltmeter, clock, and an exterior temperature. Granted, the exterior temperature is in Celsius because it's from Japan. They don't care about Fahrenheit. All they want is Celsius. So anyways, that'll be on the next episode. But for now, I guess this is going to wrap up this video. I think that's probably enough stuff for one video. But I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope to see you back on the next one. Peace.